Good morning, everybody. TGIF, happy Friday, and all that good stuff. Hope everybody's doing well this morning. It is, again, a little gloomy and overcast here in the great state of Georgia. However, I think the rain, we had got a bunch of rain yesterday. Thank you, Larry. I know he sent it over here from Beta. So we got a bunch yesterday. My yard really needed it. It was it was pretty dry. We hadn't had any rain in a while. So happy to get that. Might get a little more here and there today, but otherwise the weekend looks pretty good. Pretty good. Fall's starting off pretty good. So can't complain. Let's see who we got hanging out with us today. We got a little bit of folks over there. Let's see. We got Mark Lindsay CNC. Clear 50 here in Southern Oregon, looking at a high of 73. Might get a little bit of rain this evening. What about the nearby fires, Mark? Is the rain, is that pretty much wipe that out, or are they still trying to keep that contained? They're not talking about it on the news anymore. It's old news now. Big D's in the house. Chilly 51, headed to a nice 79. All right. Troy Pritchard's in the house. Good morning, Troy. Happy Friday to you. LB Sharp is here. How you doing, LB? Kevin Els is in the house. Good to see you, Kevin. There's that rainmaker right there, Larry Call. Good to see you, Larry. Steven Toronto's here. He says, morning. Good morning to you, Steven. Hope you're doing well this Friday. There's my old buddy Janet right there. How you doing, Janet? Good to see you. Gary Hammett Wood Creations is here. Good to see you, Gary. Jim Sinicola. Good morning. TGIF. Good to see you, Jim. Let's see who else. Mark says, holy cow, I got a notification about 3 seconds after you went live. Well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And actually, it was probably a little longer than 3 seconds because I purposely hit go live and then I wait about 30 seconds before I even hit the intro button, and then it plays for about 30 seconds. So trying to give, because I know Facebook is even worse than YouTube. So try to give them a head start here. Darren Birds, happy Friday to you, sir. Michael Murray says, morning, growing the beard for winter, or you getting a job as Santa? No, I don't do Santa. Don't do Santa. And I don't like a long Santa type beard anyway. I'm a short, neat, trim type beard guy. Let's see here. Brian Bixel's in the house, making sure I don't miss anybody. Rain in the Seattle area. Who'd have thunk? Yeah. Bob Sims is here. Good morning to you. Well, or is it? It's afternoon, I guess, over there. Probably about tea time. Jeremiah Brown says 60 today. I needs a jacket. Yeah. Let's see who did I miss here. We got George Rothfuss. How you doing, George? George, I know you mentioned the other day you been playing the Microsoft Flight Sim X, which is what 10 years old or so now. I'm just wondering if you're planning on updating to the newer one. Hey, I see Jack sitting back there, photo bombing. Let's see here. Mark says the fires here locally have stabilized. The fire that took out 2 towns is considered to be completely out. The nearby wildfire is 80% contained. The rain helps, but it won't put it out. Yeah, I guess it would take a really big rain to put, because some of them things, man, those flames are like crazy, crazy big. Jim says he's been watching the Vectric stuff. Have to get up at 6 a.m. I have not watched a single one of those. But they're all on YouTube, so I guess you can go back and watch them at any time, just like a regular video. I'm assuming. But I've seen they've had some big YouTubers and stuff like that on there. I just haven't watched. I'm not a big, and I don't mean to sound like I don't like Vectric, because I love Vectric software. It's great stuff, but it's just I don't really have a big need to learn something. When I get ready to do something, if I haven't ever done it before, or I did it a long time ago and I don't remember, I just go grab a YouTube video and watch it and learn how to redo what I forgot, or learn how to do whatever that's new to me, and roll on. I don't try to be proficient in it, because I don't use it every day. I don't make all those cool projects like Jim Sinicola does. I just make some stuff here and there. George says, I am thinking about moving to the new flight sim. Looks good. I tell you what, George, I'm not a gamer by any means. And I don't really, technically if you would call it a game, because it's not like you're playing against other people and there's a big winner and high score and all that kind of stuff. It's just fun if you like aviation and stuff. And I had the old Flight Sim 98, way back in the day. And then, of course, they had many. It first came out in like 82, which I didn't realize it had been around as long. But I remember it was fun. The graphics were, especially if you're on a so-so computer with just a mediocre graphics card, they kind of blocky and stuff. But it was still fun. I always enjoyed it. And then I saw somebody I'm friends with on Facebook had purchased it. And they started posting a few things here and there. And I go, oh, those graphics look pretty good. Let me go check them out. So I started watching YouTube videos. And my gosh, the graphics that they have now are just fantastic. I mean, it looks like you're looking out the window of a real plane. It's, and seeing the stuff, it's just absolutely fantastic. So I tell you, George, if you go watch a guy named, his YouTube channel is called Squirrel. He's, I'm not sure. I think he might be British, English, whatever we're supposed to call those people. What are we supposed to call you guys, Bob? You guys with a funny accent. But so he's got a bit of an accent, but man, the guy, I think he's a real pilot. But he's been doing some tutorials for the Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, and he's just so smooth with the landings and very knowledgeable. I've learned so much watching that guy. But if you go watch him or any of these other guys on there, and man, you'll look at the scenery and the way they've done it, and you'll be getting 2020. I guarantee you. I had and some of you folks here that are my peeps from back in my old days, you might appreciate this. I had a lot of fun yesterday. I decided I was going to take a little trip, and of course, I never left my seat here. But I fired up the flight sim, and Bob's Scottish. Okay. So I fired up the flight sim and I took off from the little airport that's between Danville and Avon there, the Hendricks County Gordon Graham Airport, just one runway thing. And I was in a Cessna 152, and I took off, heading south. The runway runs north and south, and it's one. I think it's runway 18 if you take off from the north end and head south, and it's runway 36 if you go the other way. But I took off and I headed south, and I just got up just a little bit, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500 feet, something like that. And I'm just putting around in this little Cessna, and I see a, double lane road, which I'm thinking, well, that's probably US 40. So I banked left and followed US 40, and sure enough, went right over Plainfield. I waved at you, Bill, but I don't think you saw me. Went over Plainfield, and then, of course, just after you get past Plainfield, you run into the Indianapolis airport. So I kind of went left and went a big circle around the airport, and then headed back down 40. And it's just so much fun, because when you're flying low like that, you can see stuff that you recognize it, from having been there and been in the buildings and stuff, which is just totally cool to me. But anyway, so I went on down 40, and then I started heading back north. I thought it was 75 at first. Turns out it was 231. I was a little farther west than I thought. So I headed up to 231, and then when I got to US 36, turned right again, and that way it was so cool, because y'all know I lived west of Danville on 36, where I grew up. So I was able to fly low and slow, stay right over the Highway 36, flew over Bainbridge, flew over New Winchester, which is one of my favorite places on the planet. Headed on in and, saw my old house where I grew up, which, like I said, is just so cool to be able to do that right here from this chair. And then flew in, you start coming into Danville, you see that big subdivision that's on the right there, right before you get to the school. You see the high school, you see I think there's like a new elementary school and middle school that they've built. Well, I say new, it's new to me, but it's over there off of whatever road that is behind the high school. See the courthouse, see Ellis Park, see the Little League and the swimming pool, and all that cool stuff that I used to be my stomping grounds. And then came on back out and then landed on that same incident. It only took 30, 45 minutes, something like that. But what a cool thing to do, just fly around and get to see stuff. And that's what the big thing is with Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, is that you can go find your house. And that squirrel guy that I mentioned, George, he even has a video where he shows you how to use Google Maps to get your house, and then you'll have to watch the video. But he gets the longitude and latitude coordinates. Then he has to edit them slightly and puts them in a waypoint thing in the thing, and you can go right to your house. Yeah, Lincoln Street. Yeah. Thank you, Janet. Yeah, you guys see, my peeps, they know what I'm talking about. But anyway, it's so much fun, and I think today I might fly out and go check out Mount Rushmore. I'm not sure. I might just do that. There's so many things. Like I said, I've been watching those YouTube videos, but so many of the people that are doing the videos are, well, some are from the U.S., but a lot of them are other international pilots. So they're actually doing videos showing places they actually fly real planes, and they're comparing the graphics in that software to what it looks real life. And sometimes I'll even put a picture on there. Okay, here's a real picture of the pyramids in Egypt, and here's from Flight Simulator, and it's just amazing realism, I guess. The graphics, they've done such a great job. So yeah, a lot of fun. I'll have to start doing some screenshots and sharing them with you here on the coffee sessions of places I visit. All from my little chair right here. It's a lot of fun. Let me catch up on the comments. I'm behind here. Yeah. Sorry to the south of the border. Yeah. All righty. Bob says, I probably should not admit to this, but I am a train sims nut. Well, I didn't realize until I started watching some of these videos. I didn't realize there's other simulator type games or whatever you want to call it. But there's one, I can't remember what it's called, but this squirrel guy plays it, and it's like being a truck driver. So you're driving a truck, like a tractor trailer type thing. And there's roads and scenery and stoplights, and I'm like, yeah, that's kind of cool. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, there's all kinds of the sim games. And I got to tell you, that stuff's come so far in the 20-something years that I last looked at it. Earl says, yes, talking about flight simulators at the end of the show yesterday, I still have my Chuck Yeager flight simulator and Tandy 1000 that I bought in 1987, the original. That's cool. Let's see. Steven says, or asks, will it simulate a crash if you have problems? Yeah, what's cool about this is you can set it up if you're brand new like me. I still consider myself new, even though I played it way back. They make these steering wheel yokes like come in real planes. And I wanted to get one of those, but because this new version of 2020 has only been out for it was released in August, about the middle of August. So everybody got it, and everybody went crazy buying those yokes and all these controls up. So the really good stuff you can't find. It's all sold out. And the few people that do have it, like the one I want, is about $250. But the few people that still have them, they're price gouging, and they're wanting like $500-600 for them. And I'm not going to do that. So I got a wireless Xbox controller, and I'm just having to get by with that until those others become available. But there's a ton of options. You can set it up to where it will help you take off, it will help you land, or you can turn it completely off and say it's all me, And of course, if you crash, and you can crash, you can turn that off. You can say nah. So if you have a really hard landing, it's like you just bounce and go on, or you can turn that on, and if you hit something hard enough, it's over with. You got to restart. But yeah, and you can set it up to where you have engine problems or some kind of mechanical failure. I mean, it's a lot of the people that I've been watching on YouTube are real pilots in real life, or retired pilots. And so they use the game to kind of keep their skills. And I say game, it's, to me, it's not really a game, it's a simulator. But they use that to keep their skills sharp because it's so realistic, to the thing. And then there's other pilots, that they'll tell you, they go, man, this Microsoft did a really good job because, other than a few bugs here and there, because it just got released last month, so they're still fixing things. Um, but yeah, it's other than that, it's pretty spot on as far as they even have, like, if you want to fly the big thing, like like the one I bought. There's three versions. There's like a standard, a deluxe, and then a premium. And I bought the premium, and it allows you more aircraft. I think you have like 30 something aircraft to choose from, all the way from, small prop planes to turboprops. And then they have like two or three of the big jets. They have a 747, I think, an Airbus 320, and stuff like that. But even if you were a commercial pilot, you can start off the airport at the gate. They have the little thing that comes to the door that the passengers get on. They got the pushback guy that pushes the plane away from the terminal, and the fuel guy. And it's really way different than what I had 20 years ago. And it's just so relaxing to me to get up in the air, because once you get up in the air, flying is kind of the easy part. It's the takeoffs and the landings that, especially the landings, that are the more difficult parts. But you get up in the air and get it trimmed out good, you can just, especially if you're heading straight. And it's got a ton of different camera things too. They have. I'll have to do a little video. I put some on Facebook the other day where I was showing how I had gone directly over Stone Mountain. I don't know if y'all saw that. It's on my Facebook page. And they have like different camera views. Like they obviously have views from inside the cockpit, and then they have an external view, and then they also have a showcase view, which is basically like a drone view. So you can like click that, and now you're like out here outside of the plane, like kind of flying in a drone. But you can shoot cameras straight down and look at the ground as you pass over it. It's just really cool. Let's see. I have a commercial pilot's license, single engine, land and sea, but haven't flown. Okay. You might enjoy that flight simulator thing then, Larry. Hey, David from Portal Woodworks is here. Good to see you, David. Larry said he hadn't flown in 40 years. Yeah. Grant says, what do I use for controller? Yeah. Right now I'm just using this. But as soon as there's a company called, or a product called Honeywell, that makes a yoke. And from all the reviews I've read and watched on YouTube, it is the most realistic because it will do the full 90 degrees both ways, where some of the other ones only do 45. So that's the one I want to get, but I'm not going to pay $500 or $600 when I know the retail price is $249.99. So those guys can price gouge all they want, but they won't get my money. When you crash, it don't hurt. That's the best thing about it, George. If you do screw up and crash or run into something, you just hit restart and go again. I spent one evening, I spent probably a couple of hours doing nothing but, and again, from this little airport there in Danville, the Hendricks County Airport, I would take off, circle around, and then practice landing. And then go down, they got another little strip beside it, which is the taxiway. Taxi all the way back down, turn around, take off, circle around, land again. So I got where I could do fairly decent with the little Cessna. Still not, still not real good. But I think I would probably survive if it was a real plane. But anyway, but there's 30, like 30 something other planes, and you can also get third party stuff. Uh, it's just real relaxing to me, and I always loved when I fly commercial, which I don't much anymore. I haven't in years, but like when I go to Indiana and back, I'd always book online and get a seat by the window because I always wanted to look out and see the stuff. And of course, on those things, it's kind of hard to recognize landmarks because you're so dang high. About the only time you might see something you recognize is on the approach when you're coming in and taking off. But yeah, a lot of fun. You should get it, George. I highly recommend it. In flight sim, I use 2 monitors, one for instruments. Okay. I have not. I think there is a way to move the instruments to another monitor, and I got 3 monitors set up here, but I just have it on the one. And I use StreamYard, the same stuff I used to stream. They've now added where you screen share, you can go full screen. So I was able to move StreamYard instead of directly ahead. I put it over here on this monitor, and then I would do the flight sim right in front of me, but then I'd have over here in StreamYard, I'd screen share and share the audio too, so you pick up the sound of the motor and stuff. And I shot a little short video, kind of testing just to see if it would work. And then that's how I put that clip up of me on Facebook the other day of flying over Stone Mountain. But Clyde says 9/11 terrorists trained with it. Yeah, probably so. Although they got the real deal training down there in Florida, most of them. The guys, yeah, that's his YouTube channel name. Just go to YouTube and put in squirrel, and he's got, and just watch a couple of his videos, man. Like I said, the scenery is just, and this guy, like I said, this guy is a real pilot. But you can tell how impressive that flight sim is because he just goes on and on about, man, he goes, I can't believe how great they modeled this. Like today I was watching one this morning while I was drinking my first cup of coffee. And he was in a Icon, what is that thing called? Icon A5 or something. It's a small plane, but it has wheels where you can go on a runway or you can land it on water. And he was landing in the Sydney Bay, showing the Sydney Opera House. And it just looked fantastic. I guess that's the video he just put out today, but I was watching that. I accept the challenge, Janet. I'll try. No, what I was going to say is, Clyde was talking about the 9/11 terrorists and stuff. You would think that they would, to be realistic, they would have air restrictions where they wouldn't let you fly over New York City, right around World Trade Center, the White House, Pentagon, all that kind of stuff. But from what I've seen on other videos, and I haven't done it myself yet, but I plan on trying all these things, is you can fly. There was one guy who was in I forget what kind of little plane, but he was buzzing all around World Trade Center, and he actually was heading right for it, and he was trying to see if there's some kind of thing in the flight sim that will stop you from hitting it. And he finally turned off the last second. He goes, no, he goes, looks like you could hit it if you wanted to. So I don't plan on hitting anything, or at least I'm trying not to. Yeah, the crashing or landing is all the way. Yeah, landing's the hardest part for me. Takeoffs, it's basically, well, depending on the plane, you get it going down the runway fast enough, and if you have your stuff set right, it's going to lift up. So, you just kind of barely pull back on that little thing or that I use. And sometimes I don't even have to touch it, and it'll already start lifting up. But Sean says he's running Flight Sim 10. Yeah, Sean, check out the 2020 version. It's really good. I may have to try that today, Janet. Now that you've posed that question. Force feedback on all this thing here. Like if you're, and even after you land and you're taxiing, if the runway or the taxiway is, when you're on the ground, you can feel this just like you would if you were sitting in a plane. You feel the bumps and stuff. Get a rudder pedal plus a stick controller. It gets real. Yeah, I'm going to. I just don't want to. I already know what stuff I want to get. I'm just waiting for it to become available now because with this release of 2020, everybody, has bought that stuff up. And like I said, I refuse to be price gouged and pay more than double what it really costs. I'll just wait, and because I got lots of practice to do with this thing. So yeah, any landing you can walk away from is a good one. That's my my thought there, Mark. When I make a rough one, I'm like, well, it didn't crash me out and say I crashed. So even though a couple of bounces doesn't really hurt anything. Dave says, where did you get the sim also for the PC? I bought the sim. It's a download thing. And I tell you what, get a cup of coffee and sandwich when you get ready to download it because it's about 110 gigabyte. And it took me 4 hours with my internet connection to get it all. Went smooth. I didn't have any problem getting it, but yeah, it took 4 hours to download. Jesse says I used to play Combat Flight Simulator. Realistic setting was hard. Yeah, I'm still on the easy and medium settings on most of my stuff because I'm still a rookie. George says, try put in the bay at Lake Erie. Real challenging, real fun. You talking about the icon, the one that'll go in the water? Sean runs 3 monitors. Yeah, you're a serious simmer. See, you guys, as I start talking about this stuff, and all of us coming out now, there's some real simmers out here. All right. Well, it's time for me to go. I heard my little thing here. Yeah, takeoffs are optional. Landings are mandatory. And what goes up does come down. All right, guys. I'm going to thank you, Greg. I made this one myself with my vinyl cutter and my heat press that I bought a while back. But it's time for me to get out of here. I got to get to work, or maybe I'll just fly somewhere. Area 51, here I come. All right, guys. Everybody have a good Friday. Have an awesome weekend, and we will see you all later.